So what's up, YouTube? Today we're going to do a video on two awesome companies, one awesome EQ. We're talking about the Acustica Audio DW Fearn VT5 and now this new one that came out, the Mixwave DW Fearn VT5. Now, a tube equalizer on the master bus, it should be able to sculpt and just improve everything. And I think both of these plugins succeed in doing that. Like, we're living in the day and age where you can get a great plugin and it can do something awesome like this. I think this is an awesome mastering plugin. And I would think when they say vacuum tube stereo equalizer, I'm using it on a two bus today. You could use it on a drum bus, you can use it on all kinds of stuff. But what I like about it, and as long as I've been engineering, I like EQs that are very creative. When somebody says something like that, that's a very musical EQ. What that means is, like, you can really push it and get stuff out of it that you normally couldn't get out of other EQs. For example, if you use like a basic in the box EQ, tracking EQ, you boost 5K, 6, 7 dBs, you hear it. I mean, you're like, whoa, whoa, what's going on? In this case, is very smooth in the way it does. It's similar to a lot of these companies like SSL, API, Neve. Like, when you boost a certain thing, it sort of cuts other things and it does its own thing, and that's the sound of that piece. And also the harmonics of the hardware and the line amps and the gain stage and the way it interacts with the compressors and so forth. But in this case, I want to shoot out two plugins just for like A/B comparison, because I need to give a huge shout out to Acustica Audio. Back, excuse me, back in the day, when I was doing a ton of videos, I was blown away by one of their plugins, and I'll give you the links to all their plugins. And it actually inspired me to buy the hardware of that thing. So I'm not going to give that away. I'll give it away on the next video. But this one is just, we're going to work on a hip hop track just like you would have it if you're a hip hop producer, if you're whatever kind of producer you are. We're going to go back and forth. I'm going to start these EQs. We're going to stop talking here. I'm going to set this one to 0. And then this one will be similar to what I have there. And then I'll match them and let you hear it. So this EQ is going to sculpt, and you're going to notice a difference right when I turn the thing on. Just turning it on, you'll notice a difference. So check this out. Even though I'm probably gaining a little bit, I hope it's a little level match, but here we go. Listen to this thing. Okay, so now I'm going to set some points on the thing. Let me explain what it is. This is a low cut, so that cuts from 30. You can choose all the way up to 400. You have a boost, which is 100, and then you have 60, 40, 20. You have 140. And then the cut that I usually do on almost everything is, this is where frequencies build up a lot: 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700. So there's a cut. It's almost like, if you've looked at the Vox box, actually, that might have inspired that. It sort of has a mid cut. Um, these designers know, a lot of people, there's a lot of information in there, and then just to smooth things over. The big thing that you're going to notice on this is the high boost, and we're going to start with that. It's smooth. It doesn't sound like a plugin. Either of them do. They both sound like hardware to me, and you can hear it. And then you're going to have the broad or sharp band that controls the cue of all these bands. Then, to calm this stuff down, I mean, if you want to boost this sort of like a Paultex style, you can cut back at a certain frequency. So we can cut at 1.7, 4K, 10K, and 22K. So if my dog doesn't like it. No, you can actually feel that. We'll get into that in another video. But let's go into it. I'm just going to tweak both these EQs. I'm gonna be silent, let you hear what it does. So let's get into it. What I noticed that is totally different than a lot of plugins, dude, it literally creates space. So I'm listening in headphones, I'm not listening on my mains, but man, you can just notice the space. When I pulled that 200, it just refined it. The low boost on the 100 sounds incredible. Like I would definitely recommend that for low end. And the high end just didn't get shrill. Because let me put it this way, that's 7 decibels I'm boosting it. So this low cut, I could instantly hear it. Everything sounds refined, everything sounds clean, everything sounds better. And I like an EQ like this because you're pretty much limited to some awesome stuff to be messing with. So, if we move this to 300 hertz, we're going to get a different result. Listen to the bass. Insanely transparent, super powerful. Now, during this video, because I said I had to shout out Acustica Audio, I've had this plugin for quite some time. This one, this is awesome. Okay, so now if you listen to this one, I'm gonna go back and forth between the two, and I want to hear your guys' opinion. They're both really great. I like what Mixwave did to add an input and an output stage. They added a high pass, low pass, which is cool. So they've added some options. They've given you a lot of factory presets from great engineers. So this is pretty neat. I mean, you got vocals, rap vocals, all kinds of stuff. Bob Horn, he's pretty awesome. And then yeah, so you can go through and you can mess around with that. But this just has a great sound. I can't say anything else. I mean, this is a 12,000. I mean, it's an expensive mastering EQ, and let's listen to both back and forth. This isn't about like ripping one company or the next. I just want to give a shout out to Acustica because they've had this plug for a while and they know the benefit of an EQ like this. So here it is. This is the one after I did stuff with Mixwave. We'll flip over to the other one. Okay, so to end this video, I'm going to give you a few things I like about both. I'm not going to tell you which one I like the best as far as sound. There is one that I prefer, but that's not fair to either of them. But this one has an input trim, and I think that's a little. Now this has an input level. This has an output level. Now, did they model something different on these? Did they capture a certain part of it? What I like about input trim is as you drive it, it's gonna give it a different sound, just like if I do this one, so check it out. That's sick. Sounds like hardware. Okay, they sound pretty darn close, okay? What I like about The top one here is they give you a mix knob, wet, dry. I could see you using that on something like vocals, something like that, or maybe doing some parallel, really, really boosting something, adding some harmonics. I like how it changes. Okay, so the out and the in. I'm sorry, this is out and in, but I like how using the input levels on both of them change the way it reacts. So if we push this really hot, like this one, the input trim's plus 24. This one has an input and output pre that. What's cool about today's workflow is, let's say you have a super hot, loud 808 and you just want to turn it down. This one, you just have to put a trim before it. Just put something to trim the gain. Um, to tell you what I like about these EQs is they're super musical, they're super beneficial to a production, and they're easy to use. I mean, why I say it's musical is you can just have fun with it. I turn up these highs. I mean, they sound great. Where let's end the video like this. I think this is a good way to do it. What I mean by musical, like if I just take a basic 7 band and try to put it on a master bus and try to boost 5K that much, listen in your headphones just how bad it gets. It's not good. Where this one, now let's add 120. It ain't as smooth as the DW Fearn. So yes, the EQs we use out here matter, guys. Like this is one of those plugins I would say 100% hands down. I would get some form of it. This would be to me considered a two bus EQ. It's really really good at what it does. It doesn't degrade the sound. A lot of times when I'm doing a record, like I'll have out external gear in any kind of plugin that would like change or alter the sound. It's not a good plugin for the two bus. Like, what I mean by that is if it degrades something, like I'm saying, this is a great plugin. If you look again, like the two band, I meant the basic and the box 7 band is really awesome for tracking. I mean, it's great for mixing, it's great for that, but it's not going to be a DW Fearn on the two bus. So my final of this is I think plugins have come such a long way that you can use a plugin like this, and that they just came out with a new one, Mixwave. But don't sleep on the Acustica. I mean, I think there's just some awesome stuff to be said about both these companies, and the original DW Fearn, job well done. I mean, that's just one of those EQs that it seems like if you don't have it, it's hard to get that sound. So my name's Doug Jenkins. Hopefully you guys like this video. We'll keep them coming, and that's just a little shootout between these two. I don't want to be biased towards either one, but maybe we can get that in the comments. All right, we'll see you.